Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 2 of this series. And today we're going to talk about the possibilities of what transpired in Jamie Elliott's exit interview. As we know that interviews have taken place this week, it's time to talk all things black and white. Okay, so Jamie Elliott, a fan favorite, somebody who has overcome his own injury adversities over the course of his career and has quite frankly had his best season by a mile this year at the ripe age of 33. So what do we know about Jamie Elliott going into this exit interview as far as 2025 is concerned? So we know Jamie's had the year that he had and has at this point stalled on a 2-year contract offer, which seems to be at around the 500k mark tabled by the Pies. And it's been stalled for the large part of the second half of the year. Gold Coast, who are interested, have come in and they're seemingly ready to table a 3-year offer at 500k with some incentives to possibly get that to 600 each year. And this is you hear Gold Coast this year. A few years ago, it was Brisbane. So there must be some sort of enticement on Elliott's behalf to go to Queensland and be in the sun and have a low-key lifestyle, the Joe Danaher lifestyle, the Buddy Franklin lifestyle, where you move away from the Melbourne bubble. So there is that possibility, right? But in Bobby Hill's exit interview, we talked about what are the questions the fan base would like Collingwood to ask of Bobby Hill. With this one, I think the tables are turned here. I think we have questions that we'd like Jamie Elliott to ask of the Collingwood Football Club right now, and table it all and put it there to be seen and see where it goes. So here are the main points I've brought up that I think we as a fan base would like to know that Jamie Elliott is thinking this and raising this in the exit interview. So, first things first, Jamie Elliott has played 25 games this season, the most in his career. He's not the same kid who missed 2018, who had the back issues and couldn't string 20 games for a number of years in any given season over between 2017 and 2022, couldn't string together more than 20 games. This year, he's evolved. He's evolved, or at the very least, he's improved to a level that we haven't seen before. He took the most contested marks in his career this season, nearly 1 per game, which is massive when you consider how small this guy is in stature. But when he stands on people's shoulders and takes marks on leads, he plays much taller than what his height suggests. And that is crucial and has been crucial in our forward line when you don't have an all-Australian type caliber key forward. You got Tim Membry, who's working class. You got Brody Myerchick, who's working class. You've got McStay, who's key size, but just doesn't assert himself in that way, and that's probably been his biggest knock in his career to date. He just doesn't have that aura, that bullishness, and just that willing to imprint himself in the game. He doesn't have that mentality. So then you're left with Jamie Elliott, who has that mentality in a much smaller body, which makes and has made Jamie Elliott an integral piece to that forward puzzle. The next thing we're going to talk about is Jamie Elliott's goal kicking this season. We know he's kicked 60 goals this year. However, it has been done by way of a 56% clip, 56% kicking accuracy in front of goal, which is his best season when you factor that against the amount of shots he's taken per game. So 4.2 shots per game, and his accuracy is well above 50%, which is a good number when you're taking that many shots per game. And then sometimes you may tend to forget that Jamie Elliott is also a pressure player who sits firmly in the top 20 for tackles inside. If you haven't checked it in a couple of weeks, he might be higher than that. So while his flair and marking ability and clutch time goals might deceive you, not deceive you, it might trick you into thinking that he can only do that, but he does the fundamentals right on the tackling side and the pressure side of things, which is huge for what the Collingwood system require for any player to step on that field on a week-to-week basis. So these are the things if I'm Jamie Elliott, I'm praying he's putting this forward to Fly McRae, Leppich, whoever it may be. Tie that all in. Surely he's saying, what points to me slowing down besides this arbitrary number that is my age, 33. You don't have anyone who plays like Jamie Elliott right now. So to say, we need to make space for the youth. I mean, Will Hayes is probably still going to be a couple years away at least. Harvey Harrison's coming back from an ACL. I don't know. That one boggles me a little bit, right? If you lose Jamie Elliott, you lose him for nothing. He's an unrestricted free agent and will hit no compensation band like, say, if, for example, Perryman last year, an unrestricted free agent, because of his age, because of the duration of the contract, because of the cost or the salary of the contract, GWS were compensated. We will not be compensated if Jamie Elliott leaves. He can simply walk and then we eat shit. What it will also do, if they consider to up Jamie Elliott's contract, which we'll talk about in a moment, it will allow Jamie Elliott a few more years to take Will Hayes under his wing, turn Harvey Harrison into this elite forward. We're still scratching the surface of what Harvey Harrison could be. Jai Saxono, if he comes through in the draft, that's another player who's going to need some tutoring. So there's that. There's the mentor part of it that you get to keep being on the field with Jamie Elliott in the next couple of years. Let Jamie Elliott be the guy while those kids, while Charlie West, while McCarthy, Zach McCarthy coming through in the draft, Noah Howes, these types of players develop. Let me be that guy. Myercheck's going. Let me be that guy for a little bit longer while we figure out what's going on. Jack Buller and a lot. I think we've learned we should give these players who are coming to a club from another club to Collingwood. I think we should allow them that first year grace period. And that might hurt us in, like maybe some would say Dan Houston did this year. Some would say. But that's another reason to believe or to give Jamie Elliott what he deserves on the contract table. When Bobby was absent due to personal reasons, he carried even more of a responsibility to perform and went out and kicked 8 goals in 2 of the biggest games of the season. Back-to-back finals, qualifying final in Adelaide. And then while the majority of the team was a 5 out of 10 against Brisbane, Jamie Elliott was the only one who was probably an 8, 9 out of 10, kicking 4 goals, taken at Specky. So regardless at times how the team's going, he finds a way to impact the game. That's Jamie Elliott. Now the question is, what can we afford as a club with Jamie Elliott? Can we not give him 2 years at 600? I can see 3 years being a stretch. Can we give him 2 years at 600 with a trigger clause if he kicks X amount of goals in his final year of his contract? Have we been that flexible? Does Jamie Elliott want that type of flexibility? Or does he just want, I want job security, I want 500 for 3 years flat? I think we're going to have to give way. We're going to have to think about it. Our forward, who is a pressure player, who kicked the most goals for us by a country mile this year, we're potentially going to let him walk for nothing. Next to that, you got Brody Myercheck, who kicked 40 odd goals this year, maybe 50. I think it was 30, closer to 40 than 50. You lose those 2 players in the same window, you lose 100 goals almost in a season. So pick your battles is what I would think. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, go Pies.